Roy, hello.
Morning.
Originally, I know you'd hoped to name a 23. You've gone with a 26. It's a provisional squad. Could you just explain the thinking behind the change of plan?
Well, when we were thinking how many players we wanted, there was even more uncertainty around Jack Wilshere and Jordan Henderson than there is today, because both of them have got back into the team and playing, so they're obviously medically fit. So we thought that it was better perhaps to add one or two players to the squad. We've got these 3 games coming up as well, and of course for the first game in particular we're going to be without a number of players, of course without the Manchester United players, and the Liverpool players hopefully will have returned to Liverpool with a cup, and they might not be available for that game as well. So I think we needed some extra bodies on this occasion, so I'm making life that little bit harder for myself by having 26 and having to reduce that to 23, but you never know what's going to happen in the preparation phase, so maybe some of these decisions will be made for me.
I guess the name that springs out of the squad is young Marcus Rashford. Is he now a genuine contender for a place at Euro 2016?
He's one of the contenders. That's of course the competition for him is quite strong. He'll understand that as well, but I think he deserves to be selected, certainly in this larger squad, and it will be very interesting to see what he can do, albeit we might only have a chance to see that for 1 week before I have to name the final 23 with the cup final. But I'm pleased that someone who's had such an outstanding end to the season, a young player, a player who I think has obviously got a future if he can continue to develop as he's developed so far. It's great to be able to include him, and then there's no reason, if he does exceptionally well, why he couldn't knock someone off their perch, but I must make it clear that will be harder than some people would expect, because people who've played over the last 2 years and have done a very good job for us in helping us to qualify, they're not going to be easy to knock off their perch.
When do you think you will name the 23? I know you don't have to until May the 31st. Will you take it until that time?
I would doubt it. I mean, I would think that the extra cover we've given ourselves will be finished with that extra cover by the time we play the game against Australia in Sunderland. When the players leave us, if you like, for 3 days, actually it is, after that, before we meet up to go to Chantilly, I would like to be able to tell the 23 then, right, you're the 23 that will be on the plane, and unfortunately you other 3 guys won't make it.
There's always players that make a late run of form, if you like, into a squad. Andros Townsend getting the nod, as it were, perhaps ahead of Theo Walcott. Was that one of the tougher decisions that you had to make?
Well, it's a decision. I mean, they're both good players. They're very different players. They play in wide positions, both of them, but they're not similar players. And of course, Andros, over the period of time, he's unlucky, I think, to lose his place in the squad when he wasn't getting a regular game in a team. But since he's gone to Newcastle, he's not only got a regular game, he's actually done very well there. So Theo, unfortunately, over the last few months has not got such a regular game and has had a few problems with injury. So it's a tough decision, of course, but it's a decision you have to take.
Do you have any targets for this tournament, and is this the beginning for this England squad?
I'd like to think that this squad, with the youth it contains and the relative lack of experience in terms of caps, will have a long future. I'd like to think that. I'd like to think it's a bit of a start in some respects, but tournaments, really, whenever you go into a tournament, you've got to go there with the desire and the hope that you're going to win it. I think if you asked the bulk of the 24 teams taking part, I don't think you'll find many that will say we're going to make up the numbers and we don't think we have any chance of doing well. I think they'll all say, well, it's happened in the past. No one expected Denmark in 92. No one expected Greece to win the Euros as well. No one's expected Leicester to win the league. So everyone's got to have that hope. Everyone's got to have that dream. Everyone's got to have that thought in their minds that, who knows, you know, if we really play well, if we really do our best, if we produce the type of football we can produce, and we've shown that in quite a few games recently, who knows where it will lead us. But to actually make predictions and say, this is what I think we are capable of doing, this is where I think we will end up, I don't honestly think you'll ever get any football manager or coach to do that. We have to concentrate simply on the one thing that we can control. That is the selection of the team, the preparation of the team, and, you know, the faith, if you like, that we perhaps try to show in the team, because sometimes you say things publicly which you don't necessarily have to repeat privately. Sometimes the private messages are slightly different, and the private messages are very important to players because they really do need to know that the people they are working with truly believe in them and truly think they have a chance.